What's up, TV world? It's Clyde here, reporting to you from an empty Challenger play seat. This is where I usually do all my sim racing, as you can see. But today it's empty. I'm missing my Fanatec wheel because it's broken. I just got the Fanatec wheel actually. I think I first got it maybe like just about 2 months ago, and I posted a video about it not that long ago, and now it's gone. So basically, what happened is after about 3 weeks of having the wheel, the R3 button, which is one of the buttons you can configure to do different things, is broken. So when I press down on the button, it doesn't automatically come out as a button would, right? You press a button, you release, it pops out. Instead, this button tends to get stuck there, and I'd have to wiggle it out. And so I use the button quite a lot because so the main game that I play is F1 2017. And so when you're playing that game, you can basically assign buttons on your steering wheel to control the fuel mixture. And I use R3 to increase fuel mixture, making the fuel more rich. And the way it works is that, let's say I'm coming on a corner and it's going into a long straight, I will increase the fuel mixture as I'm going in a straight line to gain as much time as I can. And then when I'm in a tighter section, I think it was L2, and L2 is programmed to reduce fuel mixture. So I can run lean mixture in the tight sections, and I can run rich mixture in the long straights. But if the button gets stuck there, then I'm stuck on rich mixture, right? And that's not really convenient. And there aren't enough buttons on the steering wheel that I could just forget about a button. I need every single button on that steering wheel. Ideally, I'd like to have one of the, I think it's called the V2 or something steering wheel, which has a lot more configurable buttons. And that way, if one button was to go out, I wouldn't care as much about it. But regardless, I have warranty. Since it's a brand new product, right? So I reached out to Fanatec. They sent me an email back asking for me to record a video of the steering wheel, which is what I did. So I showed them my steering wheel and then what happens when I press into the button and how it gets stuck there. And I sent it back to them, and they basically created a support ticket saying that I need to ship out my steering wheel, and then they'll send me a new one. What Fanatec does is that they don't just, you don't send it back, they fix it, and then they ship you a new one, as that would take a while. Instead, they just send you a brand new bundle. So I had to pack everything up. So not just the steering wheel, I had to, pack the base, I had to pack the pedals. Luckily, I kept all the boxes and whatnot. But I shipped it back, and it's been 2 weeks now, and I have yet to hear back. And I've been thinking about emailing them, like, hey, what's going on? With my steering wheel, $800 steering wheel, it's kind of missing. But I read this memo published recently, or it's not a memo, it's a blog post that the CEO of Fanatec recently published. And basically, they're acknowledging the situation that's going on right now with coronavirus and how everybody has been sheltered in place, and has created a huge, huge demand for sim racing. So I'm part of the problem because I started this in the middle of shelter in place because I figured, hey, I'm going to be indoors, going to be playing a whole lot more video games. Let me pick something up, right? And so I'm not alone. If you're watching this and you tried to purchase something from Fanatec recently, you might have been able to tell that things have been kind of iffy. It might have taken you a while to get your tracking number. The website might have been broken, which he does address in the memo. And overall, the experience hasn't been so great when you're spending, some people are spending thousands of dollars on this stuff. And so in the blog post, he asked for four things. The first thing, he asked people like, hey, before emailing us, please read the FAQ. A lot of their support requests, or support tickets, I should say, just come from people that, have random questions and haven't read the FAQ. And so instead, if you could just read the FAQ, you'd be able to answer your own questions. The second thing he asked is that you give them 14 days. So if you contact support, give them 14 days to respond. And if they don't respond within 14 days, then you can follow up. What I'm guessing is happening is that a lot of people are contacting Fanatec and then contacting them again saying like, hey, you haven't responded to my email in 2 days or a week or whatever. So please, like, what's going on? Where's my thing? Where's my money? And so he asked like, hey, just give us some time. We're working on your stuff. Just, we need a little bit more time. The third thing he asked is people to stop asking about tracking numbers. I'm guessing a large number of their support tickets have been from people asking like, hey, where's my stuff? And so he acknowledges that, hey, we will send out your tracking numbers as soon as we shipped it, as soon as we get tracking numbers from FedEx, which I think is, who they use primarily for shipping. And the last thing that he asked was, don't be mad at us. And unfortunately, the comment section wasn't so good. A lot of people were, upset that, he mentioned, like, hey, people need to take care of their kids and stuff. And people were like saying like, hey, like, I paid you money. You need to get all my stuff right now, etc. Which I think is a little bit egregious. Like, hey, like, people need to take care of their family before anything. And so, like, I am upset a bit, but, I think it's important to be patient, to be understanding. I love the fact that they're acknowledging the situation. If a company doesn't acknowledge anything and they just brush it over, I think that's really bad. In that scenario, I would be pissed. But now that they're asking like, hey, like, we got you, we understand you, we're working on this, then I'm a little bit more patient and I'm more, I think, approachable to the situation and to that letter that the CEO wrote. But all this has made me realize really that this is something I really enjoyed. This was a really good purchase. I going into it, I didn't think I would enjoy sim racing as much. I thought like, oh, it would be a cool thing. And really in the back of my mind, I thought like, oh, this is going to be one of those things I'm going to spend a bunch of money on. I'm going to do it once or twice and then I'm never going to touch it again. But it hasn't been the case. And I've actually been feeling the like a reverse buyer's remorse in a way that now that I don't have the wheel, I really miss it. Like there were some thoughts in the back of my head that like, maybe, things are selling for a lot on eBay over retail. So maybe, I should sell my shipping wheel while I can and, buy one down the line when things calm down. But now I know that like, I really enjoy this and I really plan on, going more into this. I went back to the controller this week as I'm trying to learn a new track in F1 2017 called Monza, the Italian Grand Prix. And that was just like brutal. Like going back to a controller after you're used to playing with a sim wheel is just like, yeah, that was tough. Like yeah, you'd like there's some level of enjoyment, but like the main thing comes with trying to control a car from corner to corner and feeling the weight transfer through like a joystick versus a steering wheel is a lot more different. And also pedals play a big factor into that because with pedals, I'm able to control the throttle a lot better, like especially if you're, running low traction control or no traction control at all, or even just ABS, having ABS off, like you really need to manage your braking input and trail brake, but that's a lot harder to do with a controller than it is with a sim racing wheel. And like really going into it, I really didn't see that. I really didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference because I always hear those naysayers, all the people that say, oh, well, sim racing, it won't carry over to real life. It's not, it's not the same thing. I'm a believer that some of it does. I think when it comes to car control, I think I think some of it definitely carries over into the real world. But that said, yeah, I think I'm gonna spend a lot, a lot more money into this. Like, damn, feels weird saying that. But the next thing on the list for me is the load cell brake pedals, which are actually brake pedals sold by Fanatec that go with my kit that replace my current brake pedal. And they work a lot better because they allow me to basically feel the pedal based on force instead of distance. Right now, the current brake pedals is just like how much distance you put into it is how much braking you'll get in the game. Whereas with the load cell is more so about force. And I think that will come in handy, especially for like trail braking, where you really have to like ease off the gas gently. And then after that will probably be a new seat. So this play seat, the Challenger play seat, which is what I have right now, was a really good buy. This was about $300, and I really think that it was a huge improvement from the wooden chair that I was playing in before. When I first started this, I hooked up the base to my desktop, which is behind me, and I would play with just a wooden chair. And as I hit the brakes, a lot of times the chair would like just wiggle back because there wasn't as much strength in the chair. So play seat challenge is good, and like I've spent, I'm $1,000 into this. The F1 CSL bundle was about 750, almost $800. This is $300, but no regrets at all. This is money well spent. I'm glad I did it, and I will do it again. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you've bought something from Fanatec recently, how has your experience been? Have you been able to get your stuff right on time, or had you had to wait quite a lot? I should also mention that Fanatec, it's not like they have a history of great quality control or a history of great customer service. They've had instances here and there that I've heard of from friends that have bought stuff from them. And so, just coronavirus, the whole pandemic is really bringing it to light. And, now that they have to, up their scale, it puts a lot of stress on their whole infrastructure. So I wish them the best. I plan on, keep buying stuff from Fanatec. Overall, I think my experience is still good. I'm going to be buying more stuff from them in the future. But right now I just want my wheel back. All right, see you guys. If you like this, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. If you want to keep up with me and see some new videos, subscribe. Please do. All right, catch you later. Peace.